The courtroom door creaked open as a young woman stepped inside, holding a small child's hand. She moved slowly, almost cautiously, as if the floor beneath her might collapse with every step. Judge Frank Caprio looked up from his bench and adjusted his glasses, watching them approach. It wasn't uncommon for nervous defendants to walk into his courtroom, but this woman looked different. She looked like someone carrying an entire world of problems on her shoulders. "Good morning," Judge Caprio said softly. "Good morning, Your Honor," she replied. Her son clung to her sleeve, hiding behind her leg. "Your name, miss?" "Sarah Coleman." Judge Caprio glanced at the case file in front of him. "Well, Miss Coleman, it says here you have 3 parking citations, 1 expired registration, and 2 missed court appearances." He looked up again. "That's quite a bit. What happened?" Sarah tightened her grip on her child's hand. "Your Honor, I'm not even sure where to begin." Judge Caprio leaned forward. "Start wherever you feel comfortable. I'm listening." She nodded slowly and took a long, shaky breath. "It started last year. My husband, he left. No explanation, no warning. One morning he got up, went to work, and he never came back." Gasps echoed quietly in the room. "I tried calling, I tried everything, but he disappeared. I suddenly became a single mother with no savings, no family close by, and no idea how to handle life on my own." Her son looked up at her, sensing her sadness. "I got a job at a bakery. Early mornings, long hours, barely enough money to survive. But it kept us afloat. Until," she trailed off. "Until," Judge Caprio said gently. "Until my son got sick. He has a condition, asthma so severe that sometimes he can't breathe. One night, he stopped breathing completely. I panicked. I ran to the car and drove him to the hospital. I didn't think about parking. I didn't think about anything except getting him inside. That's where the first ticket came from." Judge Caprio's face softened. "For the second ticket, I got off my bakery shift late. I was exhausted. I parked in a restricted zone near our apartment because I had to carry my son, who was running a fever. I thought, just for a few minutes, but by the time I got downstairs, there it was. Another ticket." She looked down at her hands. "The expired registration? That's my fault. I didn't have the money to renew it. I chose groceries instead." "And the missed court dates?" Judge Caprio asked gently. Tears welled up in her eyes. "The first time, I overslept after being up all night with my son's coughing fits. The second time, well, my car had been towed. I had no way to get here, and I didn't have money for a taxi." She inhaled shakily. "Your Honor, I'm trying, I really am. But it feels like every time I take a step forward, something knocks me 10 steps back." Judge Caprio looked at her with deep empathy. "How old is your son?" he asked softly. 6. "And your name, young man?" Judge Caprio said, smiling gently at the boy. The child stepped forward slightly and whispered, "Eli." "Well, Eli," the judge said kindly, "you're doing a great job being brave today." The boy gave a tiny nod before hiding behind his mother again. Judge Caprio tapped the papers in front of him lightly. "Miss Coleman, do you have any support system? Family? Friends?" She shook her head. "No one nearby. My parents passed away years ago. My husband's family blames me for him leaving. I'm on my own." The courtroom fell silent. Judge Caprio nodded slowly as if absorbing every piece of her struggle. "You know," he said softly, "over the years, I've seen a lot of people walk into this courtroom. Some come with excuses, some come with stories, and some come with truth." He gestured to her. "And you, Miss Coleman, came with the truth." Her eyes glistened as she bit her lip to keep it from trembling. Judge Caprio continued, "Let's talk about these fines. On paper, you owe over $700. She closed her eyes, already defeated. "But I'm not here to just read numbers. I'm here to understand people." He paused for a long moment. For the hospital parking ticket, that one's dismissed. When a mother is trying to save her child, the last thing she should be thinking about is a parking meter. He placed the paper aside. For the second ticket, carrying your son upstairs during a fever, dismissed. Sarah gasped softly. As for the expired registration, I understand money was tight, but the law is the law. Still, I can reduce it to the minimum penalty. She nodded gratefully. Now, the missed court dates. Pause. These normally carry extra fees. But given what you've been through and the effort you've shown in being here today, he set the papers down. I'm dismissing those as well. Sarah covered her mouth as tears spilled over. But, Judge Caprio added gently, there's something else I want to say. She looked up, confused. Miss Coleman, you've been carrying far too much alone, more than any person should, more than any mother should. You've dealt with abandonment, illness, poverty, fear, and yet here you stand. He paused. That tells me one thing. You are stronger than you think. A tear rolled down Sarah's cheek. Your son is lucky to have you, Caprio added. And I want you to remember something. Sometimes life backs us into a corner, not to punish us, but to show us that we're capable of fighting our way out. The courtroom was completely silent. People leaned forward in their seats, hanging on every word. Sarah whispered, "Thank you. I don't know how to repay this." Judge Caprio smiled warmly. No repayment needed. Just promise me one thing. She nodded. Anything. Don't give up, he said softly. Not on yourself, not on your son, and not on the belief that better days will come. Sarah's son tugged her sleeve, then whispered loud enough for everyone to hear, Mommy, are we okay now? She kneels beside him. Yes, baby, we're okay. Judge Caprio's eyes softened. Case dismissed. The courtroom broke into gentle applause, something that wasn't allowed, but no one stopped them. And for the first time in a very long time, Sarah walked out of a room feeling like the world wasn't against her. Because someone, for once, had seen her not as a case, but as a human being.